the badge he never wore. Chapter 1. The Wrong Road. It was a quiet Thursday night in the small southern town of Braxton Ridge. The kind of place where the neon from the only diner flickered more out of habit than necessity. Time passed slowly there. People knew each other's business, or thought they did, when Elijah Eli Monroe rolled into town on his Harley. No one gave him a second glance at first. Just another traveler passing through. Dust on his boots, silence in his eyes. But Eli wasn't just any man. He was a decorated Marine Corps Master Sergeant with 2 tours in Afghanistan, a Bronze Star, and a citation for valor. He'd seen things most people wouldn't survive in their dreams. After retiring, he joined a federal task force focused on domestic terror groups, specifically white supremacist militias. Quiet work, but essential. Still, he never liked flashing a badge. He didn't need it to command respect. But tonight, he would chapter 2. The wrong man Eli had stopped at a rundown gas station on the edge of town, wearing jeans and a black leather jacket. He paid cash and kept to himself. That's when they noticed him. A lifted truck pulled up, its exhaust rattling louder than necessary. 4 men in their 20s stepped out. They wore red ball caps and Confederate flag patches on their jackets. One had a tattoo on his neck that read 1488, a number no decent man would wear. They were members of a local white supremacist crew known as the Ridgeborn. A gang with a reputation for terrorizing outsiders. They saw a black man traveling alone and thought it was an invitation. They followed Eli from the gas station. He turned down an unlit road, heading toward the forested hills where he planned to camp. It was the perfect spot for someone with bad intentions, or so they thought. Chapter 3. Fire in the trees. The truck's lights went off once they reached the tree line. Eli dismounted his bike slowly, his eyes already reading the terrain. He heard the rustling behind him. "You lost, boy?" One of them sneered as they stepped out, metal pipes and chains in hand. Eli turned, calm as the ocean before a storm. "No," he said. "But it sounds like you are." They laughed until Eli pulled back his jacket and revealed the badge hanging from a chain around his neck. It wasn't local. It wasn't even state. It was federal. DOJ Task Force, Domestic Terror Investigations. The emblem glinted in the moonlight. They froze. One of them, a wiry one with a shaved head, let out a strangled laugh. "You're lying." Eli didn't answer. He pulled out a small device and tapped it twice. A green light blinked. Somewhere in the woods, a hidden surveillance drone began recording. "I've been watching you," he said. For months. Chapter 4. The hunt the men ran, but the woods weren't their friend tonight. Within minutes, lights flared on from the trees, infrared markers, hidden trip lines, and voice-activated cameras. Eli wasn't camping. He was hunting one by one. The Ridgeborn were caught, blinded by floodlights and tackled by men in camo gear and body armor. Silent and efficient, it had all been a setup. The DOJ had been tracking the Ridgeborn for over a year, connecting them to hate crimes, illegal weapons, and attempted bombings. But they needed them to act on camera, unprovoked. Eli was the bait. By the time sunrise lit up the town of Braxton Ridge, the Ridgeborn's leader was in custody. Their truck impounded, and their compound raided. The sheriff, an old white man with watery eyes, watched from his office as agents swept the station, gathering evidence. He didn't say a word to Eli, who stood tall, his badge now visible. The jacket unzipped. "They thought I was just another black man on a bike," Eli said calmly to one of the deputies. "They weren't wrong. But they forgot something." "What's that?" the deputy asked. Eli looked toward the horizon. "That this country's mine too." Chapter 5. The echo word spread fast in Braxton Ridge. Some folks were ashamed. Some weren't. But no one forgot. And Eli? He didn't stay. He left town the same way he entered, quietly, without fanfare. His job was never about vengeance. It was about balance. Justice. Making sure that even in the darkest corners, someone was watching. He didn't carry the badge because he needed it. He carried it because the world needed to remember what it meant. THEND.